to know how much I appreciate this. I really do. It's remembering because when you remember, it's like Malik is right here. His presence is here, and that means a lot to me. I want to finally say, I want to say that I won this case, the case that I filed, the Manel claim. And I won, it's a 1983 case. Lawyers, they know what that is, how hard. They are the hardest cases in the world to win. But if you win, it's the greatest thing in the world. Because you truly do win justice. And I wanted justice more than I wanted money. So I could have just filed a wrongful death case, and I would have had a lot of money, and I would have gone away, and I would have been very unhappy with a lot of money, and I did do that. But what I have here now is that I have my soul somewhat intact because I know that I did the right thing in terms of fighting for justice, not only for myself, but for some other people. And I won in 3 federal courts, 3 times. And I want people here, finally, to know that, and I'm going to shut up for real this time. I want people to know that I had an all-white jury, and the person who was in charge of that first jury, after we completed putting in all our evidence, and they were in the deliberation room, the chair of the jury came out and asked the right question. Has this officer been punished for what he did? And I knew we had won. That was the only question. And the officer and the judge answered no. She said, may we give money for punishment? May we give punitive damages? And the judge says yes. And to that they came back within a few minutes with a verdict of $2.5 million. Yay! It's not enough to pay for my son's life. And as I said, if they gave me all the money in the world, it would never pay, it would never accommodate me for the life of my son. That's what he meant to me. But it would have given me money to send his daughter to college, to buy her a house, and maybe do some things to elevate some other people. That's what I would have done. So, that's what I can say. And then I can say that eventually that case was overturned. And then because there's a case, I believe it's, and I'm forgetting the name of the case now, that case that, the case that says that you cannot get punitive damages without compensatory damages. And so then we filed for compensatory damages because they knew I wasn't looking for money, I was looking for justice. And so when I filed for compensatory damages, they awarded me $900,000 plus all of my expenses, and my expenses was in excess of over $1 million. And I want you to know that Hugh Keith said that he gathered, I think they paid more than $6 million, that they spent more than $6 million defending against this case. And this case has been written up as the longest case that was ever held in a federal court in the history of this country, that it lasted longer than any case that we know of. So, and I think it was something like, I don't know, 14 months or something like that in court that week. And for the people who are here, the young faces that I see, I'm just going to close by saying to you that has not committed any crime. So it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to He was simply at a light when this happened. He was parked, he was at a light, headed back to New Haven, just at the commencement of the highway. And the officer was driving a prison van, and it was not even authorized to even have any connection with any civilian except and unless another officer had conducted an investigation and determined that the guy was definitely need to be taken under arrest. And some officers from East Haven had done that and determined that a guy driving a red Subaru should be taken up and taken into custody. And with that, they call Officer Flyquist, who was driving a prison van. And with that information, he, on his way to pick up the suspect in the prison van, decided he saw Malik at the red light. And we learned later that he was familiar with Malik because Malik used to go out to East Haven, and for those of you who don't know, he was a black belt in karate, and he can jump higher than anybody, even the tallest guy out here playing basketball. He loved to play basketball. And the girlies out there in East Haven loved him. And that was probably a problem. And, you know, I don't think Officer Flyquist appreciated the fact that those young, pretty girls out there in East Haven, you know, was crushing on my son. And so what he did was he followed Malik into New Haven. Malik, according to Sam Cruz, did not even know that he was following him until they were at exit 2. And then Malik, they said, oh, that guy is following us in that prison van. And they didn't even know what it was about. And so when the car arrived here at this location, the car was boxed in. They had called officers from East Haven. So the car was totally boxed in. And Malik had nowhere to go. The car rolled My man just said that he loved me and he loves everything I do and he appreciates this work and he remembers when this happened and he's very hurt by it. Don't want to be here because of that. So I was going to tell you that Malik was really boxed in and the car couldn't move. It couldn't go anyplace. So Dr. Henry Lee, who was supposedly one of the best in the country for, doing the reconstruction of, these kind of situations. So he came and he said that the car, if the car ever moved, that it was at a maximum 3 to 9 miles an hour, which means, according to him, that the car rolled when the guy shot Malik in his heart. And when the car rolled, the officer had his revolver, turned it around in his hand, and at the butt of the gun, leaned on the window with the butt of the gun, stuck the gun inside of the car, shot Malik in his upper left chest area, in his heart. And then he said at trial, even in court, he said that he never stopped. We asked the question, how many times did you shoot him? And he said, I shot him in his upper left chest area. And the shot seemed to have no effect on him. And for that reason, I continued to shoot until his gun was out. And the message in that is that Malik was not a human being. He didn't see him as a human being. That he saw him as worse than a bear animal, because it would have to be some dangerous animal that you would treat in that kind of manner. But that's the way he treated my son. So I had no choice. But to stand up. It was the force from the universe, from the God, that compelled me to come and say, you're not the first woman that this has happened to, and you won't be the last. And guess what? There have been so many more, even after Malik, because I'm going to end this with this, because we haven't really completed the work that has to be done. We have not completed the work. I want everyone to know that there's a lot of work to be done, and we have not completed the work, and we are responsible. Every person that is here and all the ones who are not here, we are responsible, because if we sit by and we don't do anything, we are just as guilty as the guy who pulled the trigger and shot Malik for no reason other than just being totally mean-spirited, inhumane, and racist. And don't tell me that there's nothing that you can do. There's something, as long as you have life and breath in you, in us, we can all do something. You can do something. We all have brains. You had brains enough to come out here and remember today. You have feet to walk. You have hands. You have a heart in your chest. You have legs. You can walk. We can all do something. And until we all realize that we are all responsible for what humanity get to look like, then we're going to continue to see these atrocities happening over and over again. How long have they been happening already? And for black people, brown people, since the inception of being up on these shores in North America, that's how long. It was slavery. It was the plantation. It was 100 years of lynching. It was what?
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow, yes, sir. It was Jim Crow. Segregation. And now, integration. And integration just made it, we think that it made it easier. It made it more difficult. Because with integration, it gives us as an illusion that we have freedom, so we don't have to work now. That's an illusion. So get the illusion out of your head. Just because you can go to college, Reggie Hoffler, and become a doctor. That's my friend over. He's a medical doctor, and I'm not picking on him, but he is a doctor. He's a medical doctor.
For you to every year you have been.
That's right. That's right. You've been here every year that I've been here. And I see some other faces. You've been here every year that I've been here, and I'm grateful for you. And I'm just gonna stop right there and say, oh, the final thing I do have to say about the court, those 3 times that I won in the federal court, with the last case getting into the district court, they overturned my case strictly on a legal technicality. A legal technicality, as if my son's life is a legal technicality. You know what the legal technicality was? It wasn't that Floyd Quiz was innocent. It wasn't that Malik had done anything wrong. It was a legal technicality which really says that, oh, we are overturned. That technicality was that the attorney for Flyquist went back and he looked at the documents and he came to learn that the chief of police at that time said that he didn't realize that racial profiling was going on. And everything I won was overturned on that. And now you have the opportunity to go to the Supreme Court. They deliberately did that to me because of 2 reasons. One is that, first of all, does anybody here know anybody who's gotten into the Supreme Court? How am I going to get into the Supreme Court? You're a lawyer. You've been in the Supreme Court.
No.
I'm a lawyer, and I worked at 4 different law firms. And I don't know a single lawyer who got into the Supreme Court. How am I going to? I'm a little black woman who lost her son. Court to get my job. When I've been winning all the way through every system that you have. How did that happen? And how do we allow that to happen and we don't jump up and try to pull the sky down? That's what I feel like. All the people from all over the world. She said, whoa! Because you can't get into the Supreme Court to be heard by the Supreme Court. And even if I got into the Supreme Court, who's in the Supreme Court? It's be a joke if I got in the Supreme Court. So, a lot of work to be done. And if not for Malik, just in his memory, and to save what's left of humanity. Yeah. So let's go do it. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you. I love every face here because it says to me that Malik is not dead, he's not gone, that he's still with us because we remember him. Thank you. And now, thank you. Reggie would like to say something. Do you?
Well, I always have something to say, but I don't believe coming as late as we got here, I could or should try to repeat anything that you may have already touched on. But for everybody who's here, I would want you to know that the only reason we remember the name Malik is because of Attorney Emma Jones. And just because the Supreme Court said, just because someone else said the only way to get this case heard is to go to the Supreme Court, in my opinion, I just text Erskine McIntosh and let's see if he knows anybody who can get us there. It doesn't stop just because. Wait. It doesn't stop just because somebody else said it stops here. You are the one who has kept everybody here, and every time these faces have changed every 20 years, over the 20 years, we are here only because of your heart and your spirit and your perseverance. So it keeps going. That's all I have to say.
That's enough. That's good. Said on good. And give him a hand for that. I was thinking about going to the World Court as soon as I can find some more time and some more energy. And so you're right. So I'm going to give you a call about Macintosh. Because I believe we can do it. Yeah. I believe we can try. Yeah.
Sister, I just want to let you know, like, a couple of brothers and sisters came from last year. They wanted to support you out here, support your family, because we know that you're Muslim and you're a pillar in the Muslim community. You and Brother Jim Jones and the rest of your whole family, and we wanted to support you out here. So the brothers and sisters came, and we just wanted to make sure that we showed our presence and support what you and the family are going through today. So it's a lot of brothers and sisters, some other sisters that couldn't make it, but we just wanted to show our support. So, and we always want to just thank you for everything you've done in the community. Just let you know that we got your back.
Oh, I got yay. Power to my brothers for supporting me.
We just got to make salat, but
Allah is Akbar. Yeah, you're on Ramadan?
Yes.
Ramadan Kareem. Thank you, brothers.
You're welcome. It was our pleasure.
Thank you.